Hi, everybody. This is Karen Sullivan here at lifehealthmore.net and Life Health More on Facebook. And I'm here today, as I promised, to tell you about the very first ingredient of wellness. It's the holistic wellness ingredients, and it's exercise. Funny thing, huh? I could have started anywhere on the list, but I thought I would start with something that people are more familiar with and more comfortable with, and understanding what is this whole thing with holistic wellness. Well, we are complex beings, right? And that's what this is about. So as I'm doing these series, it'll be all through the entire month of March. And I would like you to comment either when you're watching live or on replay. I'd like you to comment and say, yeah, I get it. And as you do, I will send you a PDF, a printout of an article that will help you to understand what the whole holistic wellness is about, okay? Because we're not just people, that we have to worry about our physical being and our mental being and our spiritual being. There are other compartments that we need to do that will make those three come together and work together better, okay? So anyway, if you'd like to have that, just say, yes, I do, and you're interested, okay? Commenting, sharing, tag a friend so that they can see this series and that perhaps they'll get some guidance out of it, okay? I do encourage you also to join the community of people who are doing my advanced training, and it's easy. It's lifehealthmore.net. That's it. And you will be asked to opt in and give me your name and your email address. And then I will begin sending you the advanced tutorials about how to get off the diet roller coaster, how to stop dieting and instead start living, and how to work with things in our lives so that we can be the happy people that we deserve to be and fulfilled. Okay. And this is for our families also. Now, there are prerequisites that when all of this information, let me back up just a smidge, all of this information comes from the work that I do with one-on-one coaching. And you'll hear me from time to time sharing things about people that I've been working with. Now, presently I'm working with Zoom with people who are long distance. Some people prefer to be on the phone, but it's always nicer to look at people in the eye and for you to see my face as we're talking. But one-on-one coaching can be done from anywhere in the country, and we go through and screen share, and I show you things and help you with different issues, whatever it is that you'd like to work with. But there are things that we're not going to get into today initially that will help with the whole process of coaching that we're not discussing. But if you're ever interested in coaching, that's the first thing I would go through. And then we touch on these wellness ingredients, okay? So if it seems that there's a picture, missing a part of it, there is. It's totally separate, okay? At any time, I think we do have some articles about some of the prerequisite stuff. But anyway, so today we're talking about exercise, and there are all kinds of exercise. And you have to remember that there are two things that we need to exercise. Cardiovascular system, our heart and lungs, okay? Everybody knows that. And then the other part of is our muscles, okay? And in doing muscles, we help with bone density. We have to be cautious of tendons, and there are lots of things that you need to remember as far as how to choose your exercise, okay? So there are lots and lots of kinds of things. It's all about movement. It's all about being excited. I worked with a client 2 days ago, and we were talking about she really felt like she wanted to get back into things, and she felt so much better when she was in high school and she was playing hockey, and she did hockey and lacrosse, and so she was very active. And she said, I was in such great shape because I was exercising. And I said, wait a minute, you weren't exercising, you were playing a sport, which is a great way to exercise. I know adults who play sand volleyball, that play oh golly day, soccer, adult soccer. And there are leagues around here. I'm sure there are in other places in the country. And so finding a sport, people that play tennis, there are tennis leagues that you can do, and even golf. Golf is a sport. You are walking, you are active, you are moving. I have trained golfers before because they're really interested in their games being better. So they hire me to help them with their strengthening and conditioning and flexibility. So, you can do a sport too. Now, I would not say fishing is a sport. It's a sport, but it is not an exercise, okay? So choose very carefully the kind of sport that you're going to play. And I think that it's always wonderful when you're doing it with people, okay? Now, in my book, The Zen of Weight Loss, we have a second printing, which is available on Amazon, and we've changed the cover a little bit. But in the Zen of Weight Loss, the first thing that I tell everybody is you must be reasonable about the amount of time that you are willing and able to put into this exercise that you're doing to try and improve your health. You have to be reasonable, guys. You can't decide that you're going to start going to the gym 6 days a week, or you're even going to walk in your neighborhood 6 days a week. And when it doesn't happen because your schedule, you had to work late, or perhaps you've come down with a cold, and it's really not a good idea for you to go out walking, especially if the weather is a little chilly the way it still is now. But you have to make sure that you are going to be good to yourself. You're going to do it, and you're not going to be just all crazy willy-nilly that I'm going to get out there and do a lot. Okay, first is the timing and the scheduling, because right there you'll set yourself up for failure. 6 days a week is unreasonable. People who are working out 6 days a week are really headed for a more specific goal other than just fitness. They're usually people who are athletes, even if they're amateur athletes, and they have a schedule together because they have to condition their bodies in order to do whatever their sport is. Take, for example, somebody who is training for a marathon. Now, they are not going to be able to just run on weekends and think they're going to get anywhere, right? I mean, they'll get somewhere, but they will not develop the conditioning that they need for doing a marathon or even a half marathon. Even you see people who are runners that do 5Ks, that they run more than 1 day or 2 days a week. And so that's reasonable, but you won't see them doing a 6 day a week. Well, they might. When I used to run 6 days a week, and then we would usually race 1 day. But anyway, it's somebody who is going for a long-term physical goal. I know a couple who does these races, and I don't remember the name of them, but they use there's biking, and they do canoeing, and they're riding the mountain bike, by the way, like over terrain in through a woods. And I think there's some climbing or running as a part of it, but that is really intense work. So you know that they train intensely, but they've worked up to that. They did it because they were already in good condition, and they decided they wanted to do another challenge. But for those of us who are either 50 plus years old, or someone like this client that I talked to 2 days ago, she is 30 years old, and it's been a while since she's done anything. So what is the best thing? To say perhaps 2 to 3 days a week, I will try to do some activity. And so that's what I say about be reasonable. Don't set yourself up to be, because first thing you're going to do is be so disappointed in yourself. And then you'll kind of go, well, see, I knew I could never do it, right? Also, remember the capability that you have. Your 30-year-old body will not be able to do what your 16-year-old body could. My 63-year-old body will not be able to do what my 30-year-old body could. It's a fact of life. It has nothing to do with weight gain or muscle loss. It has to do with age component, which really affects the joints. And it's a real deal thing. It's a real thing that has to do with cartilage and tendons and Yesterday somebody told me that their doctor had said, well, your tendons and ligaments are as old as you are. And I thought, oh, how rude. It's true, but still, it's a matter of recognizing your body can't function in the same way. I can't do squats anymore. Well, I do squats, but I can't do them with 175 pounds on my back or more, and that 125 used to be my warm up. And then I would go up and wait from there. I can't do that anymore. I just can't. I can still squat. I squat with body weight only. I might hold dumbbells. That's it, because I recognize that I just can't do that anymore without being debilitated and hurting myself. And so then what happens when you hurt yourself? And you can't do anything. And again, you set yourself up for failure because you feel already great. I'm injured. I can't work out. How am I ever going to get to my goal? Because I already blew it, right? So as you're thinking about reasonable and age-appropriate sorts of things, I want you to recognize that there are two different things to consider. Number one, you might consider doing classes. And I work presently at the St. Peter's Recplex, which is a city facility, fantastic facility, and has a stellar crew working there and great instructors. And they have a nice lineup of classes and everything, and they're just getting ready. They're setting up it's a new fitness area. It's a whole separate building that is designed to do intense workouts. It's like 12,000 square feet, and it's going to be all kinds of stuff with plyo and just fantastic. It's Dynamic Lifting Center, DLC. And I think it's going to be the greatest thing. Not for me. When my son comes to town, he'll probably go use the facility. That's the kind of workouts that he does. But also that we have exercises and classes for older adults, and they're called active older adults, AOA. We also have silver sneakers, by the way. And if you have that on your insurance, come to the Recplex in St. Peter's if you guys live here. And if you don't live in St. Louis area, check out and see if your insurance includes silver sneakers, because it's a fantastic program where you can go to facilities to do classes. And usually you get these classes that are specifically for people who have silver sneakers. Then you know that they're going to do things that are age appropriate and that would help you with balance, coordination, and stretching. So consider a class, really consider a class. And once you decide that you'd like to go to a class, when you go, sometimes people can go just to watch. People are asking me all the time, would you mind if I came and observed your class? No, that's fine. But you can also come and to participate. And the first thing you do is tell the instructor, hi, I'm so-and-so, and this is my first time, and I have some issues with my shoulders, or whatever your issues might be. I had a lady about 2 months ago that came and was explaining that she had some heart issues. And so I keep my eye on her. And I just, I don't say anything, but we sort of make eye contact, and I'll sort of indicate, she needs to bring it down if I see her face is getting too flushed and everything. So, your instructor should be able to recognize the signs that you're overexerting, or that you might be doing an exercise. If you have shoulders and problems, sometimes you get excited in class because the music is pumping and everybody's having a great time, and you'll do stuff that you shouldn't do. And I will look at my clients and go, or my class member and go, bring it down, just, over the head. Are you sure that's okay for your shoulder? That sort of a thing. Okay. Then you can always try to do the exercises and go in through the gym itself. We've just did, I think it was $100,000 upgrade in our cardio room. So we've got a ton of cardio equipment with ellipticals and rowing machines and a Jacob's ladder that's just the bomb. So, you're welcome to go and use those things. And the first Saturday of the month, I do it's like an orientation that's called Body Basics. And I take new members through the facility and teach them about where the machines are, how they can turn them on and off, how you set yourself up on the different kinds of equipment to do the lifting. We have Cybex equipment and we have some Nautilus. So how to do those things, and understanding then the protocol in a gym. And with working among people, we have great members who are always real generous about, hey, yes, sure, work in with me and that sort of a thing. So it's another world. And if you have never been in a gym, it can be a little daunting to go in at first. So I love this orientation. They had been doing it for years, and I just asked if it could be my thing, and I work one Saturday a month. And so I'm able to be there and give these people kind of a welcome package, welcome to the facility. So if you don't have that in your location, ask about some way that you could do some sort of a tour. Okay, and ask them for a tour. Now, hiring a personal trainer is a fantastic idea and should be considered very seriously if you have never lifted weights before, or if it's been a really long time since you lifted weights, or if your body has changed since the last time you lifted weights and you're wondering about new ways to do things. And let me give you an example of that. Back in the day, I was in my 20s and I lived in Virginia Beach, and I worked out at a facility called Olympian Gym. Fantastic, great place, had a great crew. John Thimides is my friend and owned the place. But it was heavy lifting. And of course I was 20. It was a powerlifting, and some people were bodybuilders. I think we had a man who was two guys who were Mr. Virginia, in bodybuilding. So neat stuff, really great. Been a long time since I've been there to do anything like that. But, in that time period, during that time when I was there were things, let's talk about shoulders. That's a great thing to talk about. So there were exercises that we used to do, supersetting, and it was the standard. Everybody did these, okay? There was 2 exercises. Supersetting is you do one exercise, you put the weights down, you pick up the barbell, and you do another one. And with this, it was behind the neck presses like this with a barbell. And then you'd get done with that, put the one down, get a second one, and do upright rows. And the way upright rows were done was your hands were on the bar very close together, and you would start with your arms straight, pull it up, and you would pull it all the way up to your chin. Now see, even now I have trouble getting my shoulder up there because I did that a lot, and I did it with heavy weight, and that was just part of my routine. Everybody I knew was doing it. And if I was still in touch with those people, I might take a poll and see, do your shoulders hurt now? I had obviously a tear here, and it's healed because I never went to the doctor. I shouldn't say that, should I? But I didn't. But I have an issue then. My range of motion is rough, and it hurts to bring my hands up that high. So, but of course life went on, and I got married, and I wasn't working out and all this. And when I started to train people and got my certification in personal training back on the East Coast in Virginia, the American College of Sports Medicine, which is kind of the watchdog for the whole fitness community, the people who are certified through ACSM have a degree in, at least a bachelor's degree, a bachelor of science degree in something in the field, like biomechanics, kinesiology, something in the field that has to do with science and physical science, okay? And mostly they also then have advanced degrees with masters and doctorates too. You can anybody that is certified through ACSM has to have a degree in the field. They don't certify Like, I was an English major. I could not have been certified through them. And my first mentor that I've mentioned in the past was one of the testers for ACSM. He was a professor at the College of William and Mary, and that's what he did with, that's what he did. And he used to say, hey, I'm giving the ACSM test in Norfolk on this weekend. Why don't you come and take it? And I said, why? I'm not putting myself through that, because it wouldn't matter if I passed. I don't have the degree. I don't have the college degree. So anyway, ACSM, really knowledgeable people who are, and it's not that other organizations are not, but they are the watchdog. They are the top of the ones. They set the standard, the American College of Sports Medicine. So after I became certified, and I'm certified through American Fitness Professionals and Associates, and they're out of New Jersey. But I heard, got the notification from the ACSM that they were saying that it is contraindicated for you to do the upright rows with the behind the neck press and even behind the neck pull downs, that it was really the risk of injury was higher with those exercises. And so you could get higher chance for impingement in the shoulders from doing those exercises, especially when you did them back to back in a superset like that. Well, I thought, well, geez, I guess that's why my shoulders hurt, So it's so important to have a trainer that would be able to help you with that sort of a thing. Okay. So you can go on your own. You can sort of just go on your own and decide, I'm going to go ahead and go to the gym and do the classes. And they do splendidly. I have, a lot of people who take my classes, and any trainer is certainly, or fitness instructor is certainly willing to share information and talk to you about something that you have wondering about. Okay. So that is a good way to go. Now, excuse me, with that, it's also important to remember that some things kind of fall by the wayside and things that you just really don't know. And that's where the coaching comes in, and comes in really handy. Now, coaching is different than a personal trainer, okay? Coaching is where the individual, or what I do is I work with someone to help them with this balanced approach to fitness, with that dealing with evasion, when you're not working out for some reason and trying to decide what it is. I call BS when there are excuses being made about what the person is or isn't doing. And it's just a great way for accountability and working with people once a week. It's a super process, and people have done very well. I have to get a couple of my people. I had Diane and Jerry Hagan on last fall, and they were using the 180 products. And I did a live interview with them. And it's on my YouTube page. You can find it, just YouTube Karen Sullivan, and you'll find it there. But I have some other people that I'd like to get on to help them, get them to explain the process of what coaching is like. It is not counseling. I'm not a counselor. I am a fitness instructor, a personal trainer, therapeutic exercise, post-rehab exercise specialist, and I can help you determine how your body's moving. I understand mechanics, biomechanics, and kinesiology and all of that stuff. Okay. So when you're working and you're thinking about the muscle, which of course the largest muscle and the most important one in the body is your heart, right? Yeah, I heard you say it, really. Then you also have to remember that you're stretching and you're being cautious about your joints, and that you're getting the rest that you need. Rest is a really important ingredient when it comes to building the body, making it stronger. You have to rest. You have to give it a rest, okay? So the coaching is super to help you get through the program that you set, or to help you set the program up even. And there are ways to get coaching from me. I offer it. It's a minimum is a $300 for 3 months. It's $25 a session, and to work with me over 12 weeks to try and get to where you want to be. But I also offer it for anybody that is buying product from my affiliate, Shackley. And if you are, then you get the coaching free. And I will help you as you're working with a nutritional thing. We'll work with the 8 ingredients for wellness, that holistic wellness. And you can build for yourself a wonderful program and be able to see it through with my help and guidance and direction. So that's the first ingredient of holistic wellness, you guys. And I hope that this has been helpful for you. If you have any questions, please comment in the replays. Let me know what's going on. If you have not seen my lifehealthmore.net, go to that page, and then that way you can begin and you get email, additional coaching and videos and those sorts of things. Things that you will not see on YouTube, things that you will not see on Facebook. It's special just for you. So in the meantime, I want you to be the best version of yourself possible. And 2018 is the year. This is your year. Come with me and let's do this all together. Thank you and have a great day.